out of the way immediately, and that is they have oversold it. These guys have told you, oh, he's the main event, it's gonna be great. I mean, I can't compete with all their shit stories and dildo talk and whatnot. If you know me, I'm fairly clean. Wouldn't you agree, pork chop? That's right. So, the other thing too is, I mean, you had Corey on the stage, and yet I'm the one that's sitting down. You'll notice I'm wearing scrubs despite having nothing to do with the medical community. I'm wearing a shirt with my own face on it. And if that's not arrogant enough, my autograph is on the back. If you want one, I got about 10,000 of them in my trunk. We sell them for about $9.99. I'd like them to not line the inside of my casket. I think my grave that I'm surely set up to get. Yeah, so this is like part 7 of my 12-step plan of not giving a shit. You're lucky I wore shoes. So I'll share a few things with you guys today. Yesterday I got blocked on Twitter by Oprah Winfrey. That actually happened. Have any of you guys seen the commercial with Oprah Winfrey where she's talking about how much she loves bread? It's really a fetish. Who's, by applause, because I can't see any of you. Oh, yeah. Who's seen that? She's like, I love bread. I love bread. I love bread. I love bread. That's what she does. You've seen it. Now, that commercial ran on Hulu before, in the middle of, and at the end of every single show that I watched for a solid month. If you're laughing, you know it. And come on. And she do that thing where she's like looking right in the camera like she's peering into my soul through my TV in the bedroom. And she's like, with Weight Watchers, because you know, she needs money, so she has to shill something. She's like, with Weight Watchers, I can eat bread. I can eat bread. I can eat bread! She's like looking like right through me, like I don't get it the first 7 times she says it, so if she keeps saying it, it'll mean more to me. I can eat bread! And it's like, alright, well damn, go eat some! So I asked my wife, I said, isn't there some shit we can do and pay for so that we can get her off the screen every 15 minutes? I mean, I'm a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to watching TV. I go to bed at about 10 o'clock, I spend 4.5 hours watching 70 show, and then I go to bed. So I don't want to watch her tell me about bread 35 or 40 times. Which is what she does. She just loves it. And you notice she's never given that away on the show. Here's a car, here's a car, here's your bread, here's the pimento loaf. No. She keeps it. For herself. So back to why I was blocked, because one night, after a few drinks, I got on Twitter, and when I got on Twitter, I saw that she had a page, of course, or whatever that is, and I went, at Oprah. Out of morbid curiosity, what's like the most amount of bread you've ever housed in a sitting? Wasn't there. But somehow, I don't know that much about Twitter, but it's still on there. Like, so even though she blocked me, other people could see it so they could like shame me and hate me about the fact that I'm giving Oprah, a billionaire, a hard time. It's like, how could you possibly say that? How could you possibly be so mean and shitty? Why are you saying that? Like, she just likes bread? She's a billionaire, and I live here. Like, how am I the bad guy? And she did nothing. But talk about how much she loved bread in my bedroom every single... Sometimes I wasn't even wearing clothes! And yet, she's allowed to come into my bedroom when I'm naked, tell me about bread, and yet if I'm like, hey, just out of curiosity, what's the most amount of bread you ever housed in a sitting? What's the most amount you ever... But wait, they blocked me, so all those people were saying that. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of crappy. But we did give him like $100 billion million if she'd come back with like 7 loaves. And I washed it down with a gallon of strawberry quick, the generic kind from Super Fresh. That'd be awesome. I thought that'd be good. Oh. Man, these guys killed. Did they not? I mean, seriously, let's give a round of applause. I've been going and doing shows like theater shows and then open mic shows and bar and comedy club shows. And there's anywhere between 10 and 30 stand-up comics when you go to a place. And just going through and seeing who seems to have something special going on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna line this deck up. We're gonna make these people really good, but I don't wanna be too good. And now I'm standing back there and I'm like, damn it, they're all super freaking hilarious. And now I gotta go here and come up with some shit. You might even see me sweat. That's why the chair's here. I did want to mention something serious. It's about fails. Who knows what fails are on YouTube? Aren't they the greatest? I love them. If you don't know what a fail is, that is when some idiot does some stupid shit, gets hurt, and you see it all in the video. Who remembers, just by applause, who remembers America's Funniest Videos with Bob Saget? Remember if you sat through all that shit and all the commercials that there'd be like a 30-second montage with people getting hurt one right after the other and would have some theme? Like maybe it's throwing an ice ball on a trampoline and somebody getting cracked in the crotch with it, but they show like 50 people do that inside of a 2-minute period. That's exactly what fails are. And they narrow them down. They come up with like, oh, hey, here's firecracker fails. Here's, this or that. Do you guys have a favorite type of fail? Like, do you get that specific or do you just watch Fail Army fails? Fail Army. Well, one I would suggest are frat boys that light their drinks on fire and then catch their face on fire. It's priceless. Because they'll light this drink and they're standing there trying to look all cool, and inevitably there's some girls behind the background that they never have a shot at if they were sober. And they hold the drink and they'll go to drink it and go to spray it, and then they catch their own face on fire. There's something to me that's immediately gratifying about watching some idiot punch his own face to put out a fire. Trying to put out a fire. And every now and again, you'll have somebody that's standing there talking about it, and he's already drunk because that's the only time this is a good idea. And he spills it in his lap. Now, when you're punching yourself in the testicles, because that is the lesser of two evils, because your balls are flaming, and you're standing there, and I'm sorry, I can sit and watch that all night long. It's hilarious. It's almost a fetish. I can't even. Bruce's been yelling at me about this John C. Reilly impression, but we'll get there, I'm sure. There's just a couple other things I'd like to share with you, and that is one of the darker things. One of the darkest things I can think of, and that's public bathrooms. Now, as I understand it, when ladies go in there, there's like fountains and springtime, and it's just beautiful, and it's like, I think there's like a tide rolling in. When you walk into a men's bathroom, it's pretty disgusting. Anyway, when you walk in, you'll immediately notice the most homophobic, misogynistic, racist, disgusting things you've ever seen are written all over the walls. And the grosser and more horrifying it is, the more that person came prepared. They might say something really bad and they brought a pen. Or they showed up in the really gross stuff, they used a knife. Like, they carved it in there. Like, I walked in and there's like a toilet seat, and it's like if it said kill yourself, at least I could read it from here and I'd know which way they wrote it. But when it's a swastika, it's the same when I walk in as when I'm sitting down. And I'm like, wait a second, did they do this while they were sitting here? Are they simultaneously spewing bile and evil out of one orifice of their body? Is that happening right now? And you'll notice, and this is true with anything, if you ever find yourself in dire circumstances or a bad situation, you will find immediately that rationale goes out the window. Your reasoning skills tend to dwindle as you find yourself in a state of fear or worry or anxiety. So when you're in that bathroom, you might see something and you just take it. You're like, shit, that must be true. because you're already kind of at this heightened sense of alert and negativity. And so when I'm getting ready, which is rare, believe me, when I'm getting ready to sit down on a public toilet seat and I look in front and there's been words carved on the front that says 80% of AIDS is caused by a poop splash, I'm gonna hover. I'm thinking, three-pointer. Larry Bird and the Bird here. Let's figure this out. I'm so close to the sea, why don't I just sit out? Yeah. So I was writing down stuff that I wanted to say. I was writing on my phone, and when I first got my phone, I'm not really a tech person. Is anybody in here like completely divorced from being good at their phone? By applause. Who's bad at phones? All right, me and 6 other people. Everybody else here is really good at it. Well, when I got the phone, I guess there was that face recognition, and I'm walking, and I'm sitting there, and I like hit my toes. They split between, like they parted, and I had one of those laundry baskets like catch me just as it went on. So I'm like, I had to make this face to do it. So now it's like I'll be in public, and every time I look at my phone, I have to make like an O face. I'm like, turn it on. That wasn't anything special. That was just a fun little thing I wanted to share. I don't even know. Hey, if I could take just a quick break from the funny stuff here, I had something really serious I wanted to share with you guys because sometimes, I don't know, I was thinking about this. It was a song my grandmother used to sing to me. It's kind of cool. And I'd like to think that here, this isn't my hometown, but I've been wrestling here for 20 years. And I'd like to think that I have a little bit of political capital, that I can get away with something for just a minute or two that isn't funny. You never know when the last time you're gonna be alive. You never know the last time you're gonna walk on stage. So I want to do something that's not exactly funny. If that's okay? No. That's really hurtful. And if I wasn't so lazy, I would come over this stage. I'm kidding, there's no way that's happening. All right, so if I could play this song for you, it means a lot to me, and it's a little emotional. I'm sorry, it's just a little too... Thank you. Do you think you guys have time for one Spencer story from me? I've told this quite a few times, but when I got here, I had 7 different people, some of which I think have heard the story, wanted to hear it. So I thought I would tell it. Including Marcy. She wanted to hear it too. So I was in Spencer's. I worked there for about 700 years. Sometimes I still wake up screaming. And how many, you've all been at Spencer's, right? Yeah. So what's in the last 10 feet of Spencer's? All at once? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So these 2 ladies come in, and conservatively they weighed in at about 750 pounds apiece. There was a black lady and a white lady. The black lady had her hair pulled back in a bun the size of a nickel, and the white lady had her hair cut like a bowl, like season 7 of Roseanne and Becky. They look like the twins that come in on the Guinness Book of Records and ride those mopeds. They come like cannonballing in, rolling to the back. And the white lady, I believe her name was Jackie, she picks up this thing called the G-Spot Killer. And I wish this microphone was big enough to indicate what I'm talking about. My forearm. And she looks over, and she was like, Debbie, like it's the perfect one. Now, have any of you seen the movie Coming to America? the landlord, when they first got there. Do you remember that guy? Yeah, it's a real shithole. That's exactly how Debbie sounded when she saw this. And she said, and I quote, "Oh yeah, that's gonna rub up your butthole real good." And when that happened, the 17-year-old girl Miranda that I had working there threw up all over the floor. I come running over, I'm like, "Miranda, are you okay?" And she's like, "Did you hear? What she's gonna do to her butthole?" I know, but let's go to the bathroom, we gotta clean this up and whatnot. Alright, since you took that one, I'm gonna throw this one down. A good friend of mine's here, Mr. David Cage in the front row. Give him a round of applause. I don't know why. He's here. Dave and I were working 20 years ago at a pizza place called Georgie's Pizza. I had absolutely nothing to do with that place existing, but I probably told a few ladies that I did. So Dave and I are standing there, we're about 17, and he had a girlfriend at the time, and we're sitting there just having a conversation, like, "Yeah, she didn't really want to do, things I like to do." Conversation went on. And I'm not saying that Dave said, I'm doing that too. And we had about a 45-year-old guy that wasn't in quite as good of shape as Corey is. He had a shirt hole right here, like a lasagna stained shirt hole. His name was Carl, and he had a lisp. And so while he hears us over here talking, he's standing there and he just goes, guys. You just don't understand women. When I want something from my woman, I just tell her. I just say it. I just say what I want. I just say it. She does it. I just say it. And I'm ready for this to end. But Dave isn't. I just say it. Dave's like, how do you say it? Slamming now, bitch. Suck on my walnuts till they look like almonds. That's what he said. Now, about an hour later, his wife comes into the pizza place, and she's more moo-moo than woman. And he hands her this pizza. She opens it, she's like, "Damn it, Carl, you stupid son of a bitch, it's got sausage on it! I told you I don't want no sausage, I wanted ham!" And so he ushers her like kind of right outside, and Dave and I are standing like right inside the door, they're right outside the door, and it's in South End, so you know the walls are pretty thin. And they're standing right there, with this thing like, "Please, baby, come on, you guys respect me. Don't do that. Don't be that way. You guys respect me. Please, don't be that way. You're embarrassing me in front of them. Go on. It's like, "Whatever, Carl. You piece of shit. You just asked you to make me a pizza." "Come on, baby, come on." She's like, "Fine." He opens the door, walks into us, looks back at her and goes, "That's right, you eat that sausage, bitch." Slams the door. And Dave and I were impressed. We were 17. The problem is, that one incident systematically ruined every adult relationship he and I have had the last 20 years. Mostly because we're slow learners. Now, on to that John C. Reilly thing. I feel like that was oversold. I don't know that I'm that great at it. But as the story goes, you guys are familiar with John C. Reilly from Step Brothers. I love that movie, and I would love to somehow just wedge that in, find a way to shoehorn that into my act, but that movie came out 10 years ago, so it's kind of like a desperate move. It's like when you only do two different impressions, like, oh, maybe Pee Wee Herman and Kermit the Frog, let me try both of those together, for no reason. So, I'm trying to think of something, and then a buddy might come over and say, well, he did Wreck-It Ralph, so why don't you just do some Wreck-It Ralph stuff? The problem is, I'm a really big Step Brothers fan, and I can't overemphasize that enough. Like, it's in my vernacular. You guys ever liked a movie or a show so much that you find ways to put it in your everyday language with your friends? I quote Step Brothers every day. So I'm trying to do Wreck-It Ralph, but it keeps slipping in. It's like, Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, it's your birthday. So maybe we should go help them. Fuck you, Brennan, because I know Pop's in the little bar. I'm gonna stab you in the neck with a knife. Why don't we go to Wreck-It Ralph's house? It'll be awesome. We can go do that. I'll introduction if you leave us alone. Okay? That was about it. I don't know. I think he oversold it, but that's what it was. Thank you guys very much. And thanks so much for coming out tonight. If you were around tonight, 10 years ago, my brother Jake and I started the Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance, and we were shocked when we sold out the first show. And we've had people that have supported us every single step of the way for literally going on 10 years. And so when I started this, it was kind of that same feeling, only I didn't have him to lean on in this particular situation. It was kind of out on my own. And there's so many of you here that support us and support the comic shop and support our wrestling. I know a lot of you are here because of that, and I really, really appreciate it. Please, round of applause for everybody. Thank you so much.